Long time no see. I'm really sorry for that, but here we came back with a new episode. We will talk today about the solar panels. Did you ever think what is the solar cell? Yeah, you're gonna say yes, it's something that can convert the light energy from the sun to an electric energy. But did you know how this even works or what it's made of? So at this episode, we will dive into these kinds of topics. So let's begin. As you think about some plant or a flower, that it makes its own food with photosynthesis process without polluting the earth with anything. So why we don't take use of what the plant do and make this like them? Because actually this will be very useful, as the amount of light energy we are exposed to it for 1 hour, we can make use of it for a whole year. Interesting, right? And it also a clean source of energy, so what are we waiting for? And then we created a solar cell, which is actually a small part of a solar panel. So first question, what it made of? Its main component is silicon, and it has many layers, like it covered with a glass layer from above it, to protect it. And the second layer under the glass is an anti-reflection coating. From its name, it helps us to not let the light comes out, it keeps it. But why is it important? Actually, if the solar cell was just the layer that's responsible for converting the energy, 30% of the light will be reflected away, so we put this layer to absorb this light and don't let it out. And it must be a bit transparent, because if it was just black, it will use all the light for heating. But we want the light to pass through to the most important layers, which are the N-type and the P-type. Which they are two types made of silicon. But why the silicon? Actually, we know that the silicon is from semiconductors, which conduct electricity under certain conditions, which inheres the light energy that will make it conductive. So the N-type, which is above the P-type, made of silicon, which has 4 valence electrons, so it makes 4 strong bonds without any free electrons. But we're injecting this layer with a simple amount of phosphorus, which has 5 valence electrons. So it will have 1 free electron, and the other will be bonded with the silicon. And the P-type layer is made of silicon, but injected with boron, as it has 3 valence electrons, so there will be an empty place or a hole for an electron. So this is the reason for calling the above layer N-type, because it has more electrons, and the P-type has holes which are positive. And here the process begins. The part that the N-type and P-type are close together, some of the free electrons from the N-type will go to stay in the free hole at P-type. Until this part hasn't left any free places and there is no more free electrons, and because of that the electric field will be formed between these charges, positive and negative, and that helps to produce the driving force. This part we call it the p-injunction. So here, when the light particles, which are the photons, hit the solar cell, it can reach till the p-injunction. So with enough light energy, the electrons at the p-injunction are free to move, leaving their places. And here comes the job of the driving force. This force makes the electron move towards the N-type and the holes will move towards the P-type. And that happens so fast and many electrons and holes are produced. And due to the high concentration of holes and electrons, this will make access for an electric current to happen. If you connect it with the 2 layers which makes the electron move through the current and meet the holes at the other side, and this process occurs one after another, so here you go, we got electricity. But actually a solar cell only produces about 0.5 volt, which can charge a cell phone or a calculator. But they bring a great number of these cells and make a solar panel, and a solar panel with each other make a solar array that help us in many things to do with a clean and from infinite source, the sun. So what is stopping us to be fully reliable on the solar energy? Actually, there are multiple reasons. First, that the solar energy is not efficient in most of the countries, like many countries have cloudy days with short time that the countries are exposed to sun. On the other side, if we went to some of the developing countries like at Africa, they have most of the days are sunny. So if we could reach to something that help us to make the solar cell are efficient at any time and also be good in storing some energy for night, that will help us a lot. Thanks for watching this episode. If you like it and you catch up with some new information, please leave a like and subscribe. That will really help me to do more and more. Take care.